In our bit by bit project, we create an emulation of an LED matrix and we use Turtle to draw these LEDs, color them in case they are on. Now notice here I use the red color, that's why my LEDs that are on are becoming red. And of course they are turning on or off depending on the pattern that we are looking at. While we use the word red over here, or I could use green, blue, whatever, it's very convenient. In fact, as we know, underneath these names are 8-bit RGB values, which are specifying the red, green, and blue component of the color. Um, in this video, we'll see how we can use these values directly in our project, which will also make it quite flexible and open up many, many more possibilities for further bonus ideas. We are enhancing the bit by bit project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. Now, the key idea behind these RGB colors is very simple that look, I have got three component colors, R, G, and B. I can add them to get different colors. For example, if I add R and G, I get a yellow. G and B give me cyan, R and B give me a violet, and any combination thereof as kind of illustrated here. It turns out that if I add all the three colors in equal measure, I get a white. And then, changing the intensity, I can get different shades of, let's say, white to black, let's say. So, it's very flexible. We can do a lot of things. As far as we are concerned, however, like I said, we are interested in representing this as a single number. And the way we do that is going to be a 24-bit number, which is formed by the 8 bits from the component color. So 8-bit R value, 8-bit G value, 8-bit B value. In fact, the color value is 8-bit R value left shifted by 16, because remember 24 bits. So 8 bits for the B, 8 bits for G, and hence I left shift this value by 16 plus the G value, which is the green color value, left shifted by 8 plus the blue value. So what I can do is that instead of representing like red or say any other color name, I can represent this like a number whose value is given by this. Now look at the use of left shift operators. It's just because I'm arranging them in a 24-bit number here. Now, in order to use this in Turtle in our LED matrix, well, what we are going to do is to convert this to a string. And we are going to put it along with this, let's say pound or a hash sign. So for example, hash FF0000 will become red. That's because remember FF stands for all ones, or in other words 255. So I'm saying, well, 255 on red, 0 on green, 0 on blue. This would become similarly green. This would become blue because again 0, 0 and to 255. So basically by doing this I can combine these three colors and give whatever color I want. Let's see this in code because that's when it becomes more clear. All right, so I get back to my code over here. What I want to do is to instead of red I want to say, well, let's use a color str. And how do I form this color str? Well, I'm going to define a new, let's say, style, a new type of style, which I call color style. So I just go and say color style is, let's say, 0. So I just put a comment here. Look, let's put a clause here. If color style is equal to 0, so that's basically say static color. However, it could be any color, need not be just red. So I define three numbers, R color. For example, let's say I make R color to 255, say G color to, let's say, 0 for now, and B color to also say 0 for now. Now I want to create a color, RGB color number by combining these three. And like we discussed earlier, the way I can do that is, well, basically just say that, look, I'm going to shift my R color by 16 bits. I'm going to shift my G color by 8 bits and so on. So I just create a color, say CLR num, and I'm just going to say, well, look, that's R color left shift by 16 plus, let's say, say G color left shift by 8 and plus say B color, right? So I put these brackets so that the operations are done in the right precedence. R color gets shifted by 16, G color by 8, and B color doesn't get shifted. As we saw, R, G, and B. Now, having done this, I will translate this to a string. I'll convert this to string. I'll do that by saying, well, color str is nothing but this hash sign plus. Now remember, this is acting on string, so it's going to be like concatenating or join apple banana. Now I must make sure that my color has always got 6 hex symbols, even if my red is 0. We'll see this in action later on. So I use f string over here, to format this. Basically, I'm just saying that, look, put my color num as a hex number with 6 digits, right? So I do that by saying 06x and I close this bracket. Okay, so I got it correct. So I close this bracket over here. Let me just make sure this is all looking correct. Basically, all I'm trying to say is that, okay, look, represent my color num as a hex number with 6 digits. So it's kind of another way to convert to hex. Now that forms my color string. When I now run this piece of code, I now run this, you notice that, look, everything looks as usual because now it's all red in color. I can actually go and probe what is all color num and so on and so forth. So if I look at CLR, let's say num, that looks like a large number, but that's really because my, it's more clear when I look at CLR, let's say str, that is hash ff0000. So that's basically the hex equivalent of this. Notice, how large this looks, but this looks so much more compact, right? We can try some more examples. Let's say I go and say, well, now I want R to be 0, but I want G to be, let's say, 255. So it's going to be green in color. When I say run this, you know, notice the color has become green. Everything else remains the same, but the color is automatically green. We can again probe the, the color, say color, num. It's a different number, but more interestingly, if I look at the color string, it's now 00FF00. Now this is where it's important to have done this 06X, because if I did not do this, then the color would become only FF00, and that will cause a problem. So I just want to make sure it's always 6 digits, even if my red is 0. That's why it's 00FF, say 00. Let's look at a combination situation. So let's say I go and say, well, I want G of say 255. I want blue also to be 255. When I now run this one, you notice I get a cyan color coming out, and every LED is right now the same color because this is kind of like static placement, right? We can just do one more example here. Basically, like we discussed, if I made all of these equal to, let's say, equal to each other. So let's say I made them 100, 100, and 100. I expect the color to become gray, so when I, let's say, run this, basically I get everything becoming gray color, kind of like a little bit darkish black. But you get the idea that by controlling these numbers, by using RGB as a single number, especially in hex, we are able to control this quite nicely, and we used bitwise operators again to create this. Now just before wrapping this up, let's kind of briefly discuss as to how realistic all this is. Well, in fact, it turns out this is really, really realistic, because if you were to look for, let's say, a multicolor LED which is available in the market, you realize that many times they will have 3 leads just like this, R, G, and B, and we get different colors by really varying the combination of R, G, and B, exactly like what we are doing. In fact, what we are doing is also similar to what happens in, let's say, cameras, displays, and so on. So this is really, really quite realistic. In general, making activities, applying concepts, make concepts come alive, and that's how we learn programming at YByte. Look at our website www.ybyte.in, because we learn Python programming through such fun activities. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.